When I began seriously studying drawing at an art atelier in my 20s, the tale of the beginner artist getting caught up in drawing details, while neglecting much more important things, ran rampant. My teachers would say, first, step away from the drawing. Next, look at and see the picture as a whole. Then, focus on getting an accurate drawing long before you worry about any details. They come at the very end, so avoid them for now. Integrating their guidance, I learned the multiple facets of drawing, one at a time, in their own time, and slowly learned to draw. Then, details naturally found their place at the very end of my drawings. Growing up drawing, I was told I was talented, but didn't learn I could improve on talent. I had enough skills to draw fairly accurately, and details seemed to make pictures look good. This led to praise, so I thought, details are very important. But being in an art atelier and learning with artists of high skill levels revealed that my focus on details was a learned shortcut to results. My art skills weren't special in comparison, and fearful feelings of not enough boiled to the surface. I made art for fun as a kid, so this quote-unquote beginner baggage was a new experience. Luckily, my teachers reminded me that my insecurities around my art skills didn't make me defective as a person. Their professional approach taught me how to draw, how to learn, and how to relate to experiences of insecurity, which kept the slate of my mind clean, light, and out of being stuck in insecure compulsions. My art teacher's guidance gave me the skill of truly seeing and knowing more clearly in relation to my drawing pad, and I developed the sense to gravitate toward accurate, right drawing behaviors. Then it was easier to see what I knew, what I didn't know, what I needed to learn, and how to learn it. Learning to draw wasn't about details, but about the brain-eye-hand coordination skills that led to better overall physical drawing and the internal mental-emotional understanding of the learning process that led to patient drawing. With these skills, it became easier to hone in on which drawing area to study. I could hold the larger frame of, I'm learning the ins and outs of drawing to make better pictures, and it's going to take time, and did my best to identify the high priority action to take in relation to that. If insecure tensions arose, it became a cue to direct my focus to the current learning item and not make it personal. Now, 15 years later, I can see how the self-teaching skills I learned from good art teachers are applicable to how I learned to frame the navigation of my professional art path over time, while resisting certain life details. When studying representational art, the knowledge is based on what's objectively observable, so you can imitate others to learn. But starting my professional art path, there was no clear path to imitate that aligned with what was present for me. The starting point of being a resourced art student with time, freedom, and financial support was very different from the starting point of an uncertain professional path with no money, disinterest in art industry job options, and a desire to freely explore. I could react to circumstances or respond to what called me. Well, 15 plus years ago, I chose to leap for what was alive in me, right into very lean circumstances, not yet knowing how to not make myself wrong for making a risky choice. In my youth, ignorance got me caught in details, but it was fears of what my life would look like to myself and others that became the dicey details at the start of my professional art path. I had to resist the urge to address details like having a nice bank account, an impressive job, or lots of comfort first. Those circumstantial touches which would make the picture of my life look good from the outside much quicker. What wasn't detail related was the bigger picture question that emerged as I attempted to live for what I valued each step on my professional path. How can I create a professional art path doing what I'm interested in that gives me time and freedom to live life alongside that and pays what I need to support that step? This question acted as a teacher-like guide, but I had to be a student, learning through experience, sometimes really hard ones. My first retrospective answer to this question was taking side gigs for 2 to 3 days a week and painting while only selling a few. I did this by living very simply and insecurely for 4 years. Then, I got interested in using illustrative visuals to communicate personal growth ideas. I got my first art-related job at a visual learning company, and a year later transitioned into creative content director at a small startup. For 4 years after that, I was back in side gigs, and my career path was in purgatory as I grew as a person and freelancer. But I found a bright spot when I started making comics for fun. These last 4 years, the bulk of my income has come from stabilizing as a freelance artist, taking side work as a break and aid, and I've made peace with my path. My journey to now looks like a balanced big picture of gritty learning in the shadows and real world in the light experience in professional art jobs and freelance. Making a living and living as an artist has been about recognizing the reality in me and of me, and agreeing with and trusting myself, and doing it with the patience of knowing I'm learning and becoming more capable over time. Today, this grokking of the bigger picture of my art path, balanced with not trying to shortcut my life with manufactured certainty to satisfy worldly details, helps me find peace and not overwhelm myself with out-of-whack actions. For me, fixating on life details first has come to mean referencing commonly agreed upon rules and opinions of how to do life, instead of trusting my own experience of what seems more important, present, and true for my path at the time. It's the soul of my direct experience that I reference, imitate, and draw from as if it's my teacher. If a life circumstance isn't detailed out and easily presentable to others, I have enough lived experience to know to make space for myself to operate at a learning-like pace first, so that I don't act out of order. In some ways, I can return to what my art teachers taught me. Avoid the details for now. Save those for the end, where they belong. And then imagine what they'd tell me now, as if I was that art beginner once again, inside of an ordered, patient, professional approach.